On this dark and dreary morning in Bohemia Forest, all is quiet. Even the ruckus orchestra of grasshoppers in the grass is drowned out by the noise of rain, gently falling onto the leaves below. But Bohemia Forest hides a dark secret. This is the sad story of Augustus Brown. So you may be thinking, who is this Augustus Brown? I've never heard of them in the Wikipedia for Kingdom Come Deliverance. Well, that's because I just made them up. This is the perfect example of why I love Kingdom Come Deliverance. Storytelling in video games is incredibly important. But what I've always said is it's better to show than tell. And with the curious case of Augustus Brown, as I'm going to call him from now on, this is the perfect example. As I was travelling this extremely desolate road just above Samapesh, I came across something quite interesting. This lone patch of blood. Now, personally, I thought that I was going to be ambushed, so I drew my sword as fast as I could, because I was worried that someone was hiding in this bush here. Now, there is no marker telling me there is something here, until I ended up discovering the body, but that's not the point. The point is, I found this on my own. It intrigued me, so I got off my horse. Searching this area, I discovered that there was absolutely no one around. Now, in most games, this may have happened due to AI. Possibly a traveler was walking down this road and got ambushed by bandits. But Kingdom Come Deliverance is a masterclass of world design, so I decided to follow the path of blood. Looking around a little bit further, we can actually see that there is another patch here. So I was like, okay, this is either going uphill or downhill. Now, obviously, downhill is probably more realistic. I didn't know what I was going to stumble across, so I kept following. And as we walk down here, you may notice there's a lot of mushrooms down here, but there is this. Now, this is slightly intriguing. Now, I'm not quite sure what this is. I'm assuming that this is some form of coat or top or something like that, but it's covered in blood. Pretty horrifying, obviously. Traveling further down, we find one last item. This is a bag or some form of sack. Now, this appears to be empty. What was this person carrying? Looking to the left of the sack, we find the owner. This is, as I like to call him, Augustus Brown, face down in his own blood. Pretty terrifying. Now, we cannot interact with this character, which leads me to believe that this person was set here by the developers. This is not some random event that has happened. Was that the dagger that killed him, or was he trying to defend himself? You see, with Kingdom Come Deliverance, it gives you these details, but doesn't tell you anything. Similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, where there are similar things like this, you have to piece together these things by yourself. So let's assume that Augustus was out here collecting mushrooms. Now, we do find a lot of these mushrooms around here. This would explain why he had a sack. Let's assume he travelled back up this path and back onto the road. From how much there is, I would assume that this is where his murder happened. But why would someone be murdered for picking mushrooms? This brings up a lot of questions. Fictional questions that I've come up with in my own head. That's the whole point. In these kind of games, your imagination is what builds the world. And Kingdom Come Deliverance does that so well. You may be sat there saying, but Roxy, it's just some random dead guy. That is very, very true. But why I love games is because they get my imagination running. They get me creating these incredible situations. Video games are the only forms of media that can do that. In a movie, they would tell you what happened. You wouldn't be able to piece together these things for yourself. Video games allow you to explore these ideas and create your own story. So let's create this story. Augustus Brown was a local villager from the small town of Samapesh. He worked for his uncle's store. One of his main jobs was going to collect mushrooms from the local woods. These would be used as ingredients and also selling separately. But Augustus Brown was all alone. From other experiences in this game, bandits like to hide off of the roads and take down their victims quickly and quietly. Augustus Brown was in the wrong place at the wrong time, holding a sack that had no distinguishing features of what was inside. He could have been carrying anything. And these bandits were desperate. The two bandits laid wait in the nearby bush and attacked poor Augustus. Grabbing onto Augustus's sack, he pulled and pulled, but it was useless. Dropping the sack onto the ground, he pulled out his dagger, his only defense. But untrained and outnumbered, Augustus was just not fast enough. The only thing he was able to do was pull off one of the bandits' items of clothing. This is what lays down on the hill. I theorize this because Augustus has all of his clothing items on, so this is not part of his clothes. Killing poor Augustus, he falls down the hill to where we find him today. Searching through the sack, they find absolutely nothing of value. An absolutely pointless death. That's my story of Augustus Brown. As I said, Kingdom Come Deliverance does world building right. Many open world video games don't really have these moments. These moments where you discover something and can theorize this situation. Kingdom Come Deliverance's world is absolutely stunning, but it's also filled with secrets. A year and a bit later, I am still finding things that I have never seen. And after putting hours of just walking through these forests, mostly aimlessly because I just enjoy taking everything in and experiencing this, I find that absolutely crazy. It's reasons like this that I recommend this game. The world itself is its own character, and I wish I could say that about more games. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little bit different, but it's something that I wanted to talk about and show because I found it quite fascinating, and it's the perfect example of what I want to talk about. I'll be back soon with a video on Anno 1800. I have got a review copy which I'm going to be doing a video on, so yes, very excited for that. I will be showing that as soon as possible. Anyway, hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for watching, but until next time, that's me, out. Bye guys.